Well, hey, everybody. Welcome to another live edition of Travel with the Stars. Actually, our very first live episode. Hey, happy Thanksgiving. I am your hostess, Jen. I have three of our lovely stars here. I have Heather, the Moana Mom, David Dollar, aka Magic on a Dollar, and Kyla, aka Disney Geek 27. Hey, guys.
Hey.
Hola.
Hola. So we are here this week to talk about the newest nighttime event in Hollywood Studios in Walt Disney World Resort, Jollywood Nights. It's safe to say that we were super excited for this, and it did not disappoint.
It did not.
It did not.
At all.
Agreed. Yeah. So if you listened at all to the Main Street Electrical podcast, we teased that we were going to this. We've mentioned it on this show as well. We've mentioned on Upon a Star Travel. So we're just going to jump into it. So here we go. If you have questions, feel free to ask. We will answer if we can. So, all right. First thing, this was highly anticipated, and let's just address the elephant in the room. The first night did not go well. The first night did not go super well. There were a lot of factors. So let's talk about what people were complaining about. Okay, this is what this, and these are, we're not saying that these experiences did not happen. The first night didn't go great. It was raining, first of all. No one can control that. It's Florida. Right, it rains.
Right.
Yeah. So what did you guys, Heather, start? What was the first thing that you heard?
The lines were insane to do all of the special things.
Yes. Okay. What did you hear, David? Aside from about the lines, did you something else?
Well, that obviously, and then that it was just chaotic. Guests were saying that it didn't seem like there was a plan. There weren't enough cast members staffed to do certain things. Even the wristbands took forever to get. It just wasn't very well planned out for something that had been planned out for a year or 8 months or however long.
Right. Kyla, anything to add to that?
I know we bought tickets so long ago for this.
We really did?
Like June?
It was like last
May
spring.
or June?
June 29th,
the
actually.
Lines.
Yeah.
I have a story.
It was the lines. And
Yeah.
I was concerned because I like some good food and cocktails, so I was slightly concerned about that. And just I really wanted to do Hollywood Brown Derby, and I feel like that was like somewhat, a little misadvertised. But it sounds like the second time around they get it right, which we didn't end up getting to, but that's totally fine because we did so many other fun things.
Because we did so many other things. So we're not focusing on this part, guys. Like, this is just for context in case you had not heard about those things. It was all over social media.
Well, Jen, what else did you hear besides those things? Did you hear anything else?
No, that was mainly it, and just that people didn't feel like there was enough to justify the experience, to justify the price.
It blows my mind going to it.
Right. But I think no, go ahead, Heather.
What were you doing?
People were moving their tickets to go to the Christmas party. So those initial reviews that came in from the first night. So we should preface this. We went to the second one.
We went to the second one, yes.
Those reviews that came in the first night, people that had it from second night on were calling in and changing their ticket to the Christmas party because they were like, I'm not going to it.
Yeah, I think it's also important to remember too, and this is not saying this is good or bad, but the first night of any event like this, a lot of times you're going to have a lot of bloggers, a lot of influencers, a lot of videographers, people that are going to go to it to quote unquote review the experience. So they weren't just going to see characters and ride rides; they were going to review stuff. And so, there was lines for the Gertie cookie and people were talking about how bad the cookie was, but all you saw was people holding up the cookies and taking pictures and stuff. And, so everything was reviewed with like a fine-tooth comb above and beyond what maybe just the casual guest. Now, I'm not saying the casual guest had a great time either with all these complaints, but there was like a even more scrutinized review of that first night mixed with everything else that went wrong. And it was like a perfect storm of a dumpster fire.
Yeah.
The first night.
That's right. Yeah. A Disney dumpster fire. A Disney trash can dumpster fire.
Pretty much.
That trash can.
But at least the trash cans are themed and fun. This apparently was not the first night.
The first night.
Themed dumpster fire.
Yes.
But I think that what is so amazing to us is, so when we went in, we were like, oh, shoot, we've got these tickets for next week. Like, you know what? It's going to be fine. We really think that Disney is going to make some adjustments based on this feedback, because there was a lot of guest feedback, right? There's a lot of guest feedback. And so we went in with this attitude of, you know what? We're going to have fun no matter what, because we have like, how many of us? 19 of us? 18, 19 of us were there all together. We're going to dress up. We're going to have fun no matter what. It's going to be great. So I will say the first thing that was different is we could get our magic bands, wristbands,
Right?
Not magic bands, our lanyards, our credentials, our wristbands. We were able to get those starting at 4 p.m., which I was already in the park. So at 4 p.m. versus what was it, 6 p.m. before. And there was only one pickup. So let's talk about, let's start at the beginning. Let's start about our pickup experience, just so you guys know what to expect. So you have to get your credentials right here. Ooh. And we'll kind of go around. Oh, that's blurry.
Very official
There we go.
lanyard
Yes.
we got
Very
there.
official lanyard.
Lanyard and Jollywood Nights. Boom, boom. So Kyla, what time did you pick up your credentials?
We got there. Actually, it was right at 7. I was with Eric, David, and Alexa. And we got there right at 7 o'clock. And the line moved very quickly. I mean, it did look slightly overwhelming walking up to it, but it moved very quickly. And there were cast members there, like, go to the right, to the right, to the right, like, and they were like, just keep moving. Like, where's your ticket? You have your ticket ready. Like, they give you the wristband, they give you the lanyard. We walked in. It was easy. It was like
So you
5
did it
minutes,
at
maybe.
the entrance.
Yep.
Yes.
To Hollywood
Okay.
Studios.
That's right.
Yes.
To the Hollywood Studios.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Okay.
Well, and Jen was messaging us, or even before that, hey, they're opening up new places to get wristbands. The lines are really long. You guys come on in or whatever. And so when we got there, the line was long. We got there to Hollywood Studios, and it was a backed up line, and we thought, here we go. But the line, as Kyla said, moved very efficiently. Cast members had a plan. There were several of them out there. The one we actually got to, right as I got up to her, ran out of lanyards. And she immediately turned to the left to another cast member and was like clapping, going, come on, I need more lanyards. Let's go. So the other cast member comes running out with a big handful of lanyards, hands them off, runs back, and she starts handing them out again. And so you can tell there was a sense of urgency, like no, we're not going to stop this line. Let's keep going. Let's move. And we were probably in that line no longer than maybe 10 minutes. And that was checking tickets. That was checking, verifying everything you need to getting our lanyards, that big lanyard card that has nothing on it but Jollywood Nights.
Yeah,
I feel like they put a schedule or something on the back of it.
There
to tell
is.
you something,
There's
but-
a little
There's like
QR
a
code.
code.
There's a QR code.
yeah, but give me
David.
paper. You know me. That's like
Oh,
map. That's like doing a
They
map for my
gave
grades.
you paper. They
So-
literally gave you paper.
I mean, I'm like this big old Jollywood card with Jollywood and a QR code. I mean, give me something. Anyway, so yeah, it was well done right there at the front of the park. Very efficient.
Now, Heather, where did you get yours?
I got mine at Star Wars Launch Bay.
Okay, because you were in the park ahead of.
Yeah, I think our crew got there at like 5:30ish, I want to say. And then we were just talking at the entrance because more agents were coming in. And then Jen, I think it was you. You were like, you need to go get
I was like, go get your stuff.
Right.
go get your stuff. I was like, okay. And we went back there and they were just scanning your ticket and you were going right in. They had like an awesome setup. And there was even like one of the guest relations managers at the end that was like making sure that everything that was going smooth.
Yeah,
it took
we saw
us
some of those too.
literally like 60 seconds to get in and out of there.
You were back to Hollywood Boulevard like within 10 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
It was crazy. And I had gone even before that. So I was in the park all day because I was worried about crowds. Brady and I were like, oh my gosh, I'm so worried. So we, when we went to pick up our things, it was by the Muppets 3D. And it's because let's be real, we all love the Muppets, but we don't really require that outdoor queue. It doesn't require it. So they repurposed the queue for the Jollywood Nights. It's true.
I didn't realize there was a queue there because you just walk right into Muppets every time. Like,
Is it
like a
is
queue
it little
line
tent
there?
off to the side there? As the
It's a little, it's a right to the right.
They've been using it as a blue umbrella tent for.
They
I've
have
seen this
been,
as
yes.
a blue umbrella tent.
And I think
I
for a
had
while
no
they
idea.
used it
Today
I had no idea.
for like Galaxy's Edge for
Right.
Rise of the Resistance, like when no social distancing, like they would go to that backstage
Oh.
area.
Don't say those 2 words. Nightmares.
Yeah,
What?
yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to trigger
Anyway.
you. Anyway, however,
Stand over there. Yeah.
right. Anyway, and so, but we went right at 4, and there was already a queue. We're like, are you serious? Like, we had just like had some lunch. Walked in like, okay, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. I'm telling you what, they opened that queue. They were like, boom, boom, boom. And again, there was a guest services manager there. They were just moving people through. So that was already a change from the first night. So the check-in experience, 0 issues from anybody. Nobody, I don't think anybody in our crew
did all of them. We did all of them.
Yeah.
Right.
We did every single check-in that you could. Oh, sorry, that you could possibly do. All right. And then we had to wait for the event to start because the event doesn't start until 8:30. So everyone's in the park, but they have all the lights going on the tower, the Hollywood Tower of Terror Hotel.
It's snowing.
It's snowing.
It was snowing. All the decorations are up.
Yeah.
It's so vintagey. I love it.
Oh my gosh, it's so kitschy. I love it. It's
look
at like literally
pink dogs. Like my grandmother had those.
The little poodles.
Yeah. It's so funny.
I love it.
Like tinsel galore. All the tinsel.
All of it.
The photographers were out too, which was great. There was the decorations were everywhere. The shops were open, so they were selling all the stuff. So they were going to make money regardless of whether that party started or not. So it was great. I mean, it was awesome.
No, that was good. And then, so what we were like very concerned about, and one of the things I think was really hyped up for a lot of us was the Tip Top Club. Oh. And for those of you who are not aware, the Tip Top Club is the sadly fictional club restaurant on top of the Hollywood Tower Hotel, where the guests were going up in the elevator on that fateful night in 1939. And you can see a menu for the Tip Top Club on the way out to the gift shop after you've exited the ride. But they recreated the Tip Top Club in the courtyard, and we were so concerned about getting in there. Okay, let's be real. Brady and I were so concerned because we kind of really love that era and we really love the Hollywood Tower Hotel.
Okay, so Jen, can you tell the audience, explain for the unknown, what is the Tip Top Club? We keep hearing this name. So, and you would be the person out of the four of us that would really kind of dive into this definition. What is the Tip? Why does this mean anything for Tower of Terror fans? What does that even mean?
Yeah. So it is that fictional club that's all the way at the very tippy top, fictionally, of the Hollywood Tower Hotel. That's where the elevator should stop. It should go all the way to the top, and that's where it should be. And they're like a dance club and restaurants, and you can see the whole menu on the wall on the exit from the ride, and you can see that's where all the dancing would be, and a jazz band playing. So in the queue for the I keep calling it the Hollywood Tower, for the Tower of Terror, you can hear this like jazz music, and it's great. And the reason that's playing is kind of from the Tip Top Club. So there is what they're recreating. So they did have a jazz band. What was the set? Maybe 20 minutes? I want to say it was about a 20 minutes.
It was a perfect amount of time.
Perfect amount of time. But we were worried. And the queue started queuing up. We're like, oh my gosh. And we were like waiting. And they're like, no, you can't get in until like 8:30. And then we saw people queuing up. We queued up. They were directing people because there was a little bar area. You could go get in line for drinks, or you could go straight over and stand and watch where the band was. But it was very organized, guys. Tell us about that for you guys, because we were all in that sounds.
It sounds like it was much more efficient than the first party. Like I expected that to be an absolute nightmare, but the way that they had like the two lines going down to the bars, and then you come back up the middle with your drinks, and then you end up in this courtyard listening to music. Like I thought it was fantastic, and she was so good.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Cast members directing. So
they were
and
very
by the way,
clear about
like yes, and I thought until like November 12th we were going to the top of the Tower of Terror when they were like, actually, no, it's fictional.
I thought that too for a long time. I really did. I thought that too. I was like the 13th floor or something like that is where we were going to go.
It was the 13th floor.
So me and Brady had a conversation that we thought it was going to be in like the middle part where you enter in. We were like hoping that that's where it was going. Yeah, that's where.
That would have been cool next year.
So
maybe
cool. That would have been so cool.
I think it is good to know though that we got there. Like that was the first stop in our entire adventure. Like everybody wanted to go there first. So we were able to get to that line fairly quickly. The line did back up as the night went on. So if you go later to the Tip Top Club, just know you might have to wait longer as more people are getting in there, especially with sold out parties. So, I know we're saying, hey, we had our drinks in 15 minutes. It may be 30 or 45 for you, depending on, what time you get in that line.
But if it's a priority for you, and if you target and go there first thing, I think that was a good key to our success too, though, because
And it was a priority for Jen Novotny and Brady Novotny because that's all they talked about. I don't even know that Jen knew that anything else was going on in the park. I think she really thought Jollywood was at Tower of Terror, and that's it. That's the entire event was Jollywood.
That was the entire reason Brady came down.
I was like, we should go over here, and you were like, something going on down the street? I have no idea.
I don't know what that is. Like,
what's going on?
But the rides are open, so we have a great picture of like most of the team on the Tower of Terror. There are a few who don't ride, which is fine. Right. So we do have that.
That's a great photo.
That's a great.
And then we went and tried the food, and it was like amazing. There were no lines. We did the popovers. I did some cocktails. We went. Where did we go after that? After the Fairfax Fair. Brady and I went over to tune in.
Yeah, and then some of you went to the Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yes.
I did not go to that. So somebody talk about the sing-along. Heather and David, did you both go to the sing-along?
Yeah. Yes. Heather, what'd you think? What were your thoughts on it?
So I had no idea what to expect because I refused to watch the reviews whenever they were first coming out because they were so horrible. And I was like, I don't want to know anything. I just am going to just go and figure it out for myself. That is not one of my favorite movies. I don't get but everybody has like, it's got like a huge following. And Nikki was like, this is why I'm coming. So Nikki was like, we have to go. That was her priority. It started out, and what is it, David? Are they like miming like the first like 5 to 10 minutes?
They are. It's puppetry at the very beginning. Because I thought it would be like the Frozen show where you saw maybe you had some hosts on stage and then you had a screen with just the words. And they walked out with this 15-foot Jack puppet. And the audience gasped. The entire audience went, oh! I mean, it was incredible.
It walks out.
Yeah.
It walks
out. Mouth moving and everything, talking to the audience, setting up the story. And then you have these two people that are like opening gifts and everything for Christmas. And that like things are emanating from the gift as they're telling the Nightmare Before Christmas story. Oogie Boogie comes out later and is the Oogie Boogie song as an actual character.
Amazing.
It was really, really cool. And I'm like Heather. I'm like, I like the movie. It's not my favorite. I've seen it once or twice. But this was a sight to behold. This was
impressive.
Disney magic at its best in terms of entertainment. It was beautiful. So I was very impressed with it.
And it was the fact that their mouths were moving was blowing my mind. Even Oogie Boogie's was moving.
There was a lot of black lights too, so you could see like Jack talking everything. And if you strained really hard, you could see the magic behind Jack to make it work. But you'd have to look really hard because the way the lighting was, all you saw was Jack in his costume. And maybe you saw the stencils on his arms lifting his arms. But it was just such a cool. And I just enjoyed the fact that the audience was just like totally blown away when he walked out. It was it was the first thing that happened in the show. So it was really cool.
It's amazing.
It was great.
Yeah. I knew that was going to have a wow factor for people. Yeah. I mean, especially those.
He's huge. He's ginormous.
I think I want to say he's 12 or 15 feet. He's very tall.
Huge.
Yeah. And so some people had gone to there. Some people went and there were some characters out. So I know that we got Jiminy Cricket. Actually, I think we got that before you guys went to the show. And then
which is perfect because Upon a Star.
Yes. Because of Upon a Star.
Yes. And Kyla got to hug Jiminy Cricket. It was so cute. Kyla was all excited. She was like, Jiminy, my man. It was great.
That's exactly how I was.
You're welcome.
But then we found also Mary Poppins and a penguin. You don't always see the penguin. So and he was very handsome with his little bow tie.
I'm so awkward.
That's a character.
So awkward. I'm like, what do you call the penguin, Mary? She's like, it's Mr. Penguin. I'm like,
Mr. Popper? Well, and that's one of the differences in the first night as well, because they had some characters out, but they only had 1 or 2 characters, Phineas and Ferb and Max's Powerline and 2 others. And this time they rotated new characters, surprise characters, because Santa Duffy was also out, Santa Stitch was out, Pinocchio was out, Snow White and Dopey was out. And so they all kind of rotated through different spots. And I actually hope they add more characters, because that's one of the things I'm still hearing is the lines are just so long for some of the big characters. It's going to happen. I can't promise you no lines, anything like this.
But I think even for Mary and the Penguin, it was, I think, 15 minutes, maybe 20, which is...
Jiminy was maybe 10.
So. Jiminy was maybe 10. I don't think it was even that. But while you guys were there, some of us went down to the ABC Commissary Lane because they had like
the food was so good.
Latin street
And the
fest.
Latin
good.
party.
Latin-
You know how I
yeah.
yapped about going to the Latin party all night. So we
You
went to
did?
the Latin party and did like a little like fiesta, a little merengue.
Little-
But the food was so good. They had like
It
the
was.
Mexican hot cocoa cheesecake and like
was
the handle
good.
was chocolate. It was so cute. And like the yuca fries, like the drinks at Baseline, like they did a great job with that. I feel like there could be a little bit more decorations to kind of make it like a Latin vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
like maybe some
but
like
I think, like-
lanterns.
Yes, like lanterns or garland or something. But I realize they have like a very small kind of setup time between,
Yeah,
like
one and the other.
Like when do they kick the guests out at 7 or 8? 8 for an 8:30
I guess.
party.
Well,
7:30.
yeah.
7:30 or 8. I want to say 8. I think the park closed at 8 o'clock.
The
so they have
park
3
closed
minutes
at
to-
8, but if you were in
Yes.
Phantasmic, then you might still be in Phantasmic, and then you would get
Right.
funneled out after Phantasmic.
Yeah, but that was great. I loved that part.
Yeah. Some
We
people
did
I
a
know.
conga line with that band guy that was singing outside of there while you guys were eating. We did a conga line.
You did a conga line?
Oh, that's so
Well,
cool.
and
We missed
that
the
was kind of a
conga
hidden
line.
gem of the park too, because everybody kind of stays on Sunset because
Yeah.
you've got the tower at the tip top, you got Brown Derby, and all this things that the
Derby.
Muppet Show's happening, which we'll get to in a minute, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
we will.
But not a lot of people were filtering to the back of the park, and like Rise
Yeah.
was maybe a 15-minute ride. I think Slinky was
Yeah.
a walk on at some points in the night.
Mhm.
And the Latin Street Fair, there weren't a lot of people there because I feel as if everybody was at the front of the park doing the front.
Yep.
It was
stuff.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was perfect.
And
There
Kyle
was
was
nobody
like,
there. It was
"Drinks, no
perfect.
wait, I'm in." And so yeah, we had to drag her
Like,
away.
right into Baseline. I'm like, this is so great. Like, there's nobody here.
Kyla walks in, looks at the menu, and goes, "Yes." And they just start serving the drinks. So
I'll have all of it, please. Thank you.
pretty much.
Yeah, Eric went over to Toy Story Land and he said they got on like all the rides over there, like no waits. Like that was fantastic. Like when are you in Hollywood Studios with no
With no
line on
lines.
Rise
Mhm.
or
Right.
or any of them really? Like
Correct.
And we
It's
should
just-
preface it that the four of us specifically said like rides were not a priority.
Correct.
So for people that
Right.
do want to do the rides and you want to have 0 to no wait time, if you don't want to do all the other things, which is what we went for,
Mhm.
like this is your party because
Absolutely.
there was no wait.
Nope. Not if you wanted to ride. We walked on the towers. That was the ride I did. Was
Mhm.
tower.
Mhm.
yeah.
That was it.
Well, I mean, the Disney Junior stage show was closed, and so I know Jen was a little disappointed by that. She was like, "Well, I'll just do Tower." So I get that. I
Obviously.
understand. But,
Ob-
yeah.
I mean, I'll sing along in that show on any day. Like who doesn't want to
I'm
sing
a
along?
dude. I
with,
can't
like,
go to that show by
Vampirina?
myself. I get looks.
Dude, I'm not sitting on the
That's
floor.
not-
I'm not sitting on the floor.
You won't sit on the floor.
No, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
Why am I not surprised? That just
No.
like was said.
There's no rose petals for her to plop on. So. All right, this way minute, Savati, your club level suite for the Disney Junior live show. No, I
Can
mean,
we
and you're
have
right though.
box
Because,
seats? Like, can I do that? I'm just
Yeah.
wondering.
And
Well, I
we
mean, we had
all
a
went
large
to
group.
Gertie's.
We did
Oh,
all go to
Gertie's, yes.
Gertie's.
Gertie's is
Mhm.
Oh,
awesome.
that,
The
that was
line-
a good cookie. Why
I
were
just-
people
I know.
complaining about
What was wrong
that?
with the cookie?
And maybe it was a bad cookie last week.
Nothing.
That's the thing. Is I don't know. Maybe they retooled or they don't know. They were fresher or
looked the
something. I don't
same.
know.
Sugar
But they were
cookie.
really
It was
good.
so cute.
Oh.
It was so
It's
good.
just like with the royal lacing, you know.
yeah.
And Alexa
I
got
think
the
people
mint
just
Dole
complain
Whip.
to complain.
Wait, Alexa had
Oh
a Dole Whip?
yes.
Yeah, it was mint.
Oh, that's right.
Mint,
She got
right?
the
It was
mint
really
Dole Whip.
good.
I forgot about that.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
And then the Rescue Rangers Chip and Dale were out by
Mm-hmm.
Indiana Jones. That's who the character was right there.
I do wish I'd waited in line for them, but that's okay. I did a lot of other
Yeah.
things that night, so it's fine. It's
Next
fine.
year. Next year we'll do that.
Next year, exactly
can do
next
that.
year, because I really hope they bring it back.
I think they will. I think
I
Mm.
really
the best party of this to go to is probably going to be one of the last parties to go to because
Yeah.
I think by then everything will be completely retooled and
Right.
there'll be lines for nothing, which will be awesome.
yeah.
I wish they had done this for 5 hours and not 4. I think that loss of that 1 extra hour really
Mhm.
kind of makes it
Mhm.
harder
Agreed.
because it's really hard to do everything you want to do because there are lines. I mean, you're going to have to face some lines regardless. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Hopefully they're not an hour and a half like the first night, but you'll have 30-minute lines here for characters or 45-minute waits for that or whatever.
Mhm.
So it's just to be expected with any party.
Yeah, exactly. But if you prioritize what is important to you, like we decided based on the reviews, all right, Hollywood Brown Derby sounds really cool, but we don't want to give up 45 minutes for a sit down,
Mm.
like small plate
Right.
experience.
Right.
Just not what we wanted to do. But I'm sure it was great. I'm sure I would have enjoyed it because like good food, good music, good friends, like
I love it there.
That's my vibe, so
I think the longest line, I guess for me personally, the longest line I think I waited in was probably for the Muppet Show towards the end of the night. The variety show.
variety
hosted by
show, which is
Mickey.
what I
And
was
that's
thinking
because
too. So perfect.
we got there a little early and we
We
had
did.
great seats. We were probably 4 or 5 rows back. And
Middle,
honestly,
dead center.
I was starstruck. I mean, I really was, because there's Kermit and Piggy on stage talking to the audience, like not,
But like
not off in the
Kermit and
corner in a
Piggy.
balcony, but actually right there. Yes, it
Like-
was fantastic. I was so like, that's Kermit and Piggy. This is fantastic. This is just, I'm blown away by this. It was great.
I
I
love the
didn't-
vibe of it, like old
Yeah.
vintage variety shows. Like I loved what they were like trying to do with it. And I'm like, oh, this is cool. Like
Yeah. But even then, what did we wait? Maybe was it a half? It didn't seem like it
20
was
minutes,
that
half an
long.
hour, maybe. Yeah.
But that was because we chose. If we had gotten in line later, we still would have gotten in.
Oh,
We
yeah.
still would have seen the
Right.
show. We just our seats might not have been.
Right. Well, I
That's
mean,
good.
you're going to wait for the best seats that you want to get, obviously. And I was happy to wait for that to see it. And to set it up, it really is Kermit and Piggy hosting a variety show where
Yes.
Tiana comes out and does a number. Enchanted Belle from Christmas,
Yeah.
she
Oh,
comes
she
out and
was
does a thing.
amazing.
Mickey and Minnie come out and they do their thing. So it's like singing, dancing, and entertainment. And, Piggy and Kermit keep coming back out and doing stuff. And it was a fun little variety show. It was a really cool little show.
And
It
let's
was
talk
really
about
fun.
the live band. They were amazing.
Yes. Yes, they were.
Amazing.
Yes.
and
Just-
the voices, like everybody's
Oh.
voices. I was just like blown away. I'm like,
Yeah.
man, that's so good.
And the costumes, like it was all just so well done. And we plotted it on purpose. We were like, okay, this is the show we're going to go to.
Mhm.
So everybody kind of met up to get in line. And we said, we're going to get there early because we want to have good seats. So, just plot ahead of
I
time. The
think that
show
helped.
schedule. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it did.
Mhm.
We had a plan.
Yes.
Have
Yeah.
a plan.
Have a plan.
Yeah. So I
That
think
show
think
alone.
costuming.
That show
ahead,
alone
Heather.
was amazing, because I even said to Brady, I was like, I don't know what everybody's talking about, that this party isn't awesome, because this show alone is worth it.
it's true.
Well, what I've figured out though is that people weren't complaining about the actual things to do. People love meeting Max. They love meeting, whatever, Chip and Dale. They loved the Muppet Show. They loved everything. Mostly, it was the lines and the fact that there was like they could not get to it. That's the
They felt
problem
like
that
they couldn't
everybody
get to it.
had was
Mhm.
because there wasn't quite enough for people to do, and the lines were so long for everything that you got to do like 2 things in 4 hours. And I think that was the big complaint. And Disney fixed that. They somehow or another, they had more characters, they had better lines, they had quicker things for the stuff they could control. Maybe more shows. I don't know the map of the schedule the first night, but
I don't
but I
know
feel like
about
they
that.
really addressed a lot of that, and the lines
Mhm.
were great. And so
Was
Yeah.
our party sold out?
Yes.
Yes.
yes, because we had one agent who could not get a ticket. She
Who could-
tried,
yeah.
although I think it was you that suggested just going to the box office and trying to get one, because she may have been able to get one at that point. But our party
But-
was sold out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will say
didn't-
when we were leaving, oh, sorry, Jen.
No,
a guest
go.
relations manager came up to us and asked, like, how did you feel about the party? Like, how did you feel about the
Mhm.
lines tonight? Like, and we were like, this was fantastic. Like, we had so much fun. And like, we know the reviews from the first night. And it looks like Disney really made a change and wanted to make a difference. So we all had like such a great time. And she was like, you could see like a wave of relief, like wash
Right.
over her. And she was like, oh, that's so good to hear. And then we got coasters.
Yeah, coasters.
Yeah.
Roller coasters.
Exhibit A.
Mine are right over there. So no, I think to that point, Kyla, I think it's great that Disney listened to their people. Now, obviously, I think they would have had to at some point if they kept going with parties like the first
Well,
one.
yeah.
Just collapsed. But I love the fact that Disney was so fast on the draw. They were like, let's fix this. Let's talk to people. In some groups on Facebook, I saw that people had like hour-long conversations with guest relations on the phone, them asking
Long
simple questions
email.
like long emails, what can be fixed, that kind of thing. So it's generally, they were like, let's fix this and make this a better value versus just, we'll tweak it a little bit. And, we still got your money and it's okay. Which I'm very appreciative of that. I'm glad we went to the second night.
Yeah. And we did have the advantage, of course, of hearing reviews from the first night. So we weren't going in totally like, okay, we don't know what to do. Like we've been to Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. We know our plan of attack if we're going there because we've done it so many times. Next year, I hope A, that they bring it back because I will go again. And B, I hope that they do add that extra hour that David mentioned because I really think that would be perfect.
That was
Just
going to
give
be
you a
my
little
thing.
more
If they
time.
bring it back, what would you guys add? Like, what would you change?
Oh, that's a good question. Heather. I like that.
What would you change?
I've thought about this actually. Yes, I would do the extra hour. I would add a few more characters and a few more spots because I think that people love the characters and make them rare characters. Make them characters you're only going to find at this party. Do your Robin Hood characters. Do your Belle's characters from Enchanted Christmas with the Christmas outfits on. Do Christmas type characters that you're only going to see at this party and nowhere else. And maybe have a few more food offerings. I think those three things for me. Also, one more thing: give away the Gertie cookie. Let the Gertie cookie be a gift.
Oh, be a freebie.
Christmas party for the same price. Yeah. You're getting cocoa. You're getting cookies all over the park. Things like that.
Yeah.
Give the Gertie cookie away. It's okay to give away I guess a $2 cookie, which at Disney would be $7 cookie. I think the Gertie cookie would go a long way because you can only get it at the party. You can only get it there. And I think it's a big deal.
It's cute.
And that Jollywood sign at the end, they should need to move it. They need to move it like down the street.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know. We almost missed it.
Right. I was like, wait,
I think I did.
I have a picture. But
and where was Ollie? They were talking about this brand new character they've created for the parks, the gingerbread Ollie, and he was only on one sign. I mean, put that guy in the park too. Yeah. Let him walk around as a gingerbread character, or have a statue or something cookies behind you can take pictures with.
Oh, do Ollie cookies? Oh, wait, a Gertie cookie and an Ollie cookie.
Yeah, get your choice of a Gertie and Ollie, and you pay $10 for the other.
No, you get both. No, you get both.
You get both. That's fine too. I mean, let's not get crazy, Jen. We keep talking about Disney giving stuff away. Come on, settle down there. Cool your jets. So,
but to your point, the Christmas party, you get 5 or 6 cocos, eggnogs, cookies, whatever it is. They can give away an Ollie gingerbread and a Gertie cookie. And I agree with more food booths. I'd love to see more food booths. A smaller version of holiday kitchens in Epcot, but a little bit more food booths, holiday themed through this party.
Yeah,
that would be fun.
Not Heather, more drinks. Not more drinks, Kyla.
Sure.
Well, she means food and wine booths. You can.
Yeah,
it means wine and food booths.
Fun cocktails. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So funny. No, I agree with you guys in the time, but me and Brady were so mad because we were like, no, we're supposed to get into the Tip Top Club at 7. We wanted to be in there at 7 o'clock. We were ready to be in there at 7 o'clock. Just because we're so used to those other parties. And I get that, they have to do Fantasmic, but let's face it, this time of year, it gets dark in Florida early. They could have done it and then been done. Do a 7 o'clock show and you're out.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They could
I loved all of it. And you guys know this. I raved about it the entire time because I was this is the Disney difference. I love this.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I had a light up dress.
Go back next year.
Yes.
You totally had a light up dress.
I will say this team's costumes apparel was fantastic. So Heather had the light up dress and she wins, which was awesome. Our friend Clint Smith had a light up bow tie, which was
was amazing.
So that was fun. Kyla and Jen, you looked fantastic. You had the whole get up with Brady and everything.
You and Brady.
So the vintage you wear.
Yes, loved that.
Jen, what would you add? What would you change to change or add or take away or whatever?
I mean, I'm gonna.
Josh calls you. What would you tell him?
I would actually tell him all of the feedback that we've given so far. I like the idea of the extra hour. I do think a few more food, holiday themed food booths. The popover was really good, and the Latin Street Fair was really good down on Commissary Lane. But then, maybe over by Gertie, if there was something else over there,
spruce it up a little bit.
Just a little bit more food and beverage offerings. Now the other thing though, with that extra hour, I would have gone into the Hollywood Brown Derby, which would have been some food offerings because I feel like I could have spent the time to pop in there and maybe get an appetizer. I think they were doing small plates mainly, is what it looked like to me.
It looked really good. I just didn't want to spend 45 minutes or an hour there.
Well, I think the Brown Derby should have been a 45-minute experience. It's almost like an Oga's Cantina. You go in there, you have a seat, you get
that would have been
a quick drink, and then you're done. Maybe set it up as a virtual queue at the beginning of the night, so you have a 45-minute window to come in. Was it? I have no idea.
They did. It was a walk. Yeah, you had a walk-up list so that you would
okay. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, make it some sort of experience where when you go to Brown Derby, you're only going to have to spend 30 to 45 minutes. You're not going to be stuck there for an hour and a half because that's very hard to plan for. And and honestly though, as somebody who doesn't drink a lot, only actually when I'm hanging out with Kyla, I'll be honest with you, if
try this,
pretty much buy me this. like at the Tip Top Club is a great example. There wasn't a ton to do there except for the bar and the band. It wasn't like heavily themed or whatever. And so I would love to see, I don't know what, but I would love to see a little more decor, a little more something activity there besides just there's the bar, there's the band, and the area wasn't that big. So it's not as if everybody could just go into the dance floor and cut a rug or anything. So I would love to see a little more decor, things like that. So yeah, you guys were dancing, but there wasn't a lot of room to do otherwise. So.
Well, just listening to the band and the musicians were incredible.
Oh yeah, there was musicians, like that's some of the unheralded heroes of the night. The musicians, the entertainers were just on point, and you could tell they were having so much fun doing their jobs. It was great. The Latin Street Fair band, those guys were fantastic.
They were really great.
It was so good.
So
I wish more people were over there to take advantage of that, because I feel bad when there's like 3 people listening to.
Do you? Because you just walked up the baseline and got your drink right off the bat. So more people.
Yeah, and then I came back out and listened to it, but it was like me, Jen, and Brady listening to it. That was it.
Heather was there for a little bit.
I was there for a little bit, but we did the conga line and then we had to go see the show.
Yeah. Cliff and
the only other thing I would say is I needed more Christmas lights. I always need more Christmas lights at any Christmas event in Disney. I just needed more lights.
But of course we miss the Osborne lights a little bit. Like that's kind of our
those things on Commissary Lane.
I'm serious. Just like not even all of them. Just a few of them
Lane. I mean, you could put a different entrance into ABC Commissary or whatever for people to go to get food, and put those lights over that because it's a hallway.
They could have added so much to that.
It was a little dark. So, that part is a little bit dark in the at night, so that could have used more lights. I would agree. But then we should say the end of the night you can finish up with Jingle Bell Jingle Bam. So if you remember, what was it? Prep and Landing?
Prep and Landing. From the TV show.
Yeah, from the TV show Prep and Landing.
Because they used to do that at regular Hollywood Studios hours.
They did, but they're not. Unless I'm wrong.
They didn't do it last year either. I don't think they did it all last year.
Have they done it since COVID? I don't
actually
remember.
don't think so.
I don't think so.
Not sure. No.
I don't think so. But they brought it back.
Jingle bell, jingle bam.
But jingle bell, jingle bam. So yeah, and then of course on the way out you got your little coasters. There's like some fun merch that you could buy, of course, for the Jollywood Nights. But any other final feedback, guys, for our studio audience? I know we're not Kermit and Piggy, but
we need more merch. I was just thinking that there was a shirt. That was it. Give me a pin. I'll wear some Jollywood ears. Give me some sort of something, some swag, a sweatshirt or something that has Jollywood Nights on it or whatever.
Souvenir.
Prep and Landing, a souvenir wine glass that Kyla can take home.
Listen, anything
souvenir
Tip Top Club.
Tip Top Club stuff. Any of that. Yes. And sell it exclusively at this place. 2 per person, so the eBayers can't get a whole bunch of it. And just give us some merch, and I'm hoping they'll have some next year because I feel like people would have bought the crap out of that stuff. I would have walked home with $100 worth of stuff easy and didn't need it. I'd go home and be like, why do I have this? I don't know. Now I have it. So.
But I'm not mad about it.
Exactly.
Oh gosh.
My feedback is that I'm going to go back next year.
Yes, they're bringing it back. There's not an if. They are bringing it back.
And I can't wait. Like next time, I will go to the first one. Listen, I'll be there opening night. I don't care.
So we need to all go back in December so we can do this and the Christmas party and Festival of the Holidays and have like a trio of fun right there together. Like all these events all
so
together.
Fun.
So much fun.
I
would be all into it.
That would be.
And I'm so bummed we missed it by like days.
Yes.
Literally.
Because Kyle, I blame you for this. You and Alexa, who planned this weekend for the whole team.
Hey, you know what? These dates were the ones that won in the poll, so that's what we went by.
Yeah. Well, we did catch the last day of Food and Wine Festival. It's just that we missed the opening of Festival of the Holidays. So that was But that's okay. I'm going back down for New Year's.
Next year.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm going back down for New Year's, so I'm going to get to hit Festival of the Holidays. So and Heather lives there, so whatever. She gets to go all the time.
So
she's like, I know.
I agree.
Well, real quick, let's just throw up where you can find everybody if you want to see our reviews, our individual reviews of Jollywood Nights and or our travels. Of course, you can find, I'll start with Heather. Go ahead, Heather. You start.
You can find me at the Moanamom on Instagram and Facebook, or you can email me at heather@uponistartravel.com.
Cool. All right, David.
Find me on Instagram at @TheMagicUndyDollar. And of course, you can also email me at david@uponstartravel.com. And Jen and I have a little podcast called the Main Street Electrical Podcast, to which Heather is our quasi-producer, the Moana mom, and Kyla is what we call a frequent contributor. She just comes on whenever she has time because she's apparently busy or something. But yeah, we release episodes every Thursday. I'm sure we'll be talking about this and the Wild Africa Trek. So we have a couple of things to talk about this week.
Oh, can I be on that one?
Yes, you can be. Kyla, you have to be on that one. Absolutely. You have to be on it. I was going to tell you that you're on the ship. And so you're kind of our evolving third co-host. And so sorry, it's the way it is.
Or if you talk about Disney Springs, definitely.
Yeah.
I love Disney Springs. Anyway. Yeah, so that's every Thursday. So we got some good stuff coming up for Christmas as well as we head into our 4th year of podcasting for this crazy little show. So
absolutely.
Awesome.
All right, Kyla, where can we find you?
You can find me at DisneyGeek27 on Instagram, and my name _travel agent at Upon a Star Travel on Facebook, and my email Kyla@uponastartravel.com.
And of course, you can find me at Upon a Star Jen, and you can always email me Jen@uponastartravel.com. You can follow us on our main agency page at Upon a Star Travel, and find us at uponastartravel.com. Pretty easy. You can find us on all of the socials, all of the places. So like, subscribe, all those fun things, so you get notifications. And thanks everybody for joining us. Remember, you can find a whole new world of travel. We'd love to help you with that. We'd love to get you some Jollywood Nights and help you travel in the new year. So in the meantime, we'll see you real soon.